Hello, everyone. My name is Tommy Nichols. Super glad to be here. This is actually part two of National Digital Inclusion Week. This is part two this morning at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, 11 a.m. We had Black-led organizations who are doing work in the digital space. And now we're here talking about the Center for Digital Churches and how digital churches are closing the divide. And I'm super happy that I have with me today the individuals who work for Power USA and the Center for Digital Churches who are doing the work in the community with churches and nonprofit organizations. And we're going to even show you some of that work as well. But what I'd like to do first of hand, just have them go ahead and introduce themselves and say how long have they been with us, right? So let's start there. How long have you been with us? Give us your name. And we'll start with the veteran of the group, who is the youngest, but he's the veteran. Make sure you guys all off mute. Make sure you guys are not muted. But we'll go with the veteran, and that would be Kendall Hollowell.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kendall, and I've been working for Power Up USA for a year.
And Kendall, is it been a year? Or is it over a year? When did you start?
2023, I believe.
Okay, you remember the month?
Um, Between April and May.
Okay. So you going on a year and a half.
Yeah.
Good. Nicholas, how about yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Nicholas. So I've been with, I met Mr. Nichols about, about maybe 2 years ago. And then, we connected, we networked at some events. And eventually I landed up at Power Up USA in March of 2024 this year. So it's been about 7 months.
7 months. Wow. And how about you, Brandon?
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon. I've known Mr. Nichols for, I want to say we started right before the film festival.
Okay. So you're about what, 5 months in?
Yeah,
4 or 5 months in. Yeah, about 5 months in. Yeah, right before the film festival. You're correct.
That's
And in
5
addition,
months of my life.
yeah. So thank you. So in addition to, which is interesting, to them working in the digital equity space, closing the digital divide, they also work with the Charlotte Black Film Festival. So everyone here has a part in the Charlotte Black Film Festival, which is great. So they're well-rounded when it comes to technology instruction, technology support, and media creation and media support. So super excited to have them there. And so we want to just ask them some questions as we talk about this. And first of all, just talk about their background. Let's go around again and just share your background before coming to Power Up USA, and then what have you gained knowledge that you're doing now as a employer. And hold on one second. I think we have somebody that's coming in, and that's Pastor LeVay. So, Nicholas, go ahead. Let's start with you.
All right. Well, before Bob USA, and it continues to this day. I was a filmmaker. I began as a filmmaker. I found out about Mr. Nichols actually through another one of his many branches, the Carolina Black Film Collaborative, as well. So and that's basically where our networking actually began. And I attended the Charlotte Black Film Festival as well as the Afro South Film Festival, which is involved in down in Charleston. And I just started attending more events, and then I landed, of course, at Power Up USA. And since that time, I've looked at the digital divide, and we were able to put a spin on it, and we were able to say that because of this divide, we want to be solution makers, because that's the whole point of being innovative as time continues. So, since that time, I've been able to look at definitely many new perspectives. They say, like they say in Matthew 25, the importance of talents. For every talent you gain, God will double it. So, yeah. So since this time, I've doubled my expertise in technology as well as computers and the digital divide. And yes, sir. Looking
Good.
forward to much more.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's so interesting because not only are we, because AI is here, technology is changing rapidly. So as we're giving work, as we're helping people, supporting the work, closing the digital divide, we're also still learning. as you know, generative AI is here, and we're just going to do a big training on that. We did one class called AI for Seniors that we did as well. And so we're always learning to stay abreast of technology as it evolves, as Nick said, so that we can be that service provider to our community. And that's the ultimate play. Kendall, talk about yourself. Talk about kind of where you were beforehand, and then kind of what have you gained since being part of our group.
So beforehand, I've been a freelance video editor, videographer, and filmmaker. And then joining on to Power Up USA, it allowed me to use those skills, and along with starting to be able to create training courses and be able to instruct our youth, adults, and seniors.
Yeah. So it's interesting. We don't talk much about the youth part, but really, youth, adults, and seniors is kind of, and that covers everyone, especially in unserved communities. That's where we specialize. That's really where we go. And so these guys really do the work, and got some other things coming up that's going to be even greater. We're expanding, we're growing. And so, and we're super excited about that. So, Brandon, let's go with you. Talk about kind of what were you doing beforehand, kind of your skill base. And Brandon, we call him the hands-on guy. He can put stuff together, do those kind of things. And his aptitude, he's so smart. He quickly aptitude to the technology part, learned that in our pop-up centers as well as our refurbishing center. So, Brandon, talk about what you did beforehand and what have you gained being part of Power Up.
Yeah, my main thing was, and I thank you for that compliment. My main thing was I grew up an athlete, but I was also an intellect as well. So I never had any experience with computers too much. I actually started in a class I learned from you. There were some things I didn't know about computers. But I'm thinking, if this man that's older black gentleman can teach me about computers, then there's so much about the world I need to learn when it comes to technology.
Good.
And started out in the class, and I just said there's more out here I need to learn, so I'm not stuck behind and loop thinking I could just be one thing as a young black man,
And so what was interesting about you, and the reason probably why you're here, I remember Kendall was teaching that class. We was in the Sugar Creek area opportunity zone teaching that class, and you were a student. And within that class, as a student, you became an instructor. So you started, you grabbed it real quick, and then you start supporting other people in the room, right? And I saw that. I said, oh, well, that's what we do. And so that was just, I was impressed by that. And, and so I said, yeah, so you're part of the team. Then we found out we're both from Ohio and lived in Columbus, Ohio. So that all, came together real good. So let's talk about this. Talk about some of the projects, and just think real quickly. Being here, what's probably one of the, or you can do one or two, the most rewarding project that you have done? So let's talk about the project. What was it? Was it training? Was it refurbishing? Was it the giveaway? Was it the grand opening? Talk about your highlight. What was something that you've done as a digital disciple? And for those who don't know, a digital disciple is one who makes folks digitally whole. What I mean by is that they do training, they can do digital support with your devices, cell phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, whatever. They do training, do media. So that's why we call them digital disciples under the Center for Digital Churches, just so you know. But let's talk about that. And Kendall, I'll go back to you. Tell me, what was your highlight of all the projects? Talk about a few highlights you like, but tell me which one you probably was most rewarding for you.
More so the training, getting hands-on with the seniors, especially one-on-one, being able to help them with their different aspects of trying to figure out different things they needed for their devices. That's been a lot rewarding to me because it brings a good joy, because I mean, a lot of them don't know a lot of different things when it comes to their computers. So being able to see them get excited and thank me or stay even after class and want extra help, that's been the highlight most of all for training.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We have some great testimonies. If you guys go to Power Up, I'm gonna put it here in the chat, powerupusa.org. And if you go down where it says testimonies, you will see kind of what everyone is saying, seniors are talking about. And when you watch their face light up, those testimonies are amazing. Go to powerupusa.org and kind of see what we're doing, and you kind of will really see the testimonies. They're video testimonies, so you actually see the individuals there. Brandon, let's talk to you. Tell me so far, what has been kind of your biggest highlight? You know what I mean? Because your focus has been the refurbishing center and the digital pop-ups. Those are the two things that you've really been involved in. I think you've been the most of all, the digital pop-ups and then our refurbishing center. So which one of those, or both of them, which one did you think was your highlight?
I gotta agree with Kendall. Teaching and education has always been something that's been exciting to me, because if I can give someone that aha moment, they leave knowing something they didn't know before, I just feel better as a human being, because that's sort of our purpose, to help everyone out here, whether it be the youth or the seniors that didn't have the opportunity to grow up with technology as we did. The world is constantly changing, and it's just good to keep everyone afloat so we don't leave anyone behind, especially within our community.
Yeah, that's
just giving someone an aha moment.
Yeah, good. That's great. That's great. And that's kind of what we do. We need to do a meme with that, Kendall. we need to create a meme with that. Aha, right? That's going to be our meme, right? The ha moment, which is great. Nick, talk about you. What, out of all the stuff that you've been doing, talk about, what has been one of your projects that you, your highlight in this whole space? What has been the highlight for you?
Well, I would say, of course, along with these guys, making the training, of course, because that goes back to our original point of closing the digital divide. Also, when we provided information at the African American Festival, when we were able to provide digital games for the youth, and we were able to provide some on-point training for anybody who came by our booth. Because bottom line is, again, it's about closing definitely that digital divide. Because of course, we know as Black people, the STEM, we know of course the STEM fields, we know we have a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
But if you look back at our history, we mastered a lot of those things if you go back to the original history. So bottom line is, I think this is also a look at us refurbishing and basically reconnecting with that original knowledge that we have. So I look at it better from that perspective as well.
Yeah, and you just said something, Nick. You mentioned about our original history. I went to the National Afro International Museum in Charleston, and they have a video display where they talk about the important when slaves came through the port of Charleston. And one of the things why they were so in demand, because of the technology, meaning the work process that they brought in farming.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so they had this way of doing things that no one else had, that made, of course, the enslaved was very popular, of course, made folks rich, but they had those skills before you get here. And so it's very important that we, as you say that, provide those skills now, because once again, they did not grow up, especially our seniors did not grow up with these particular skills. And our youth, they take on the skills as users, like in our gaming program. Most youth think of gaming as fun. They don't think of it as a creator or producer of those games. So it's important that we give them the know-how and exposure how to create the games that they would like to see on the games that they're using, which is so important as well. So talk about this. Tell me real quick, what do you guys think about, because we got some exciting news coming up, but what do you think about in your own space, when you do use technology and you do things, and now I'm asking about your vision. Kind of what is your personal vision that you would like to see when you look at young people now, you look at older people, you look at our society, even yourself? Tell us, what is one thing you see that's missing when we talk about closing the digital divide, when we talk about, providing these services? What do you see that's missing? Brandon, we're going to start with you. What is something that you see that's missing in this landscape?
Someone that's missing, what was the last part of the question?
Yeah, what do you see that's missing in this whole society? We're talking about closing the digital divide, and what do you think people need that they probably don't have?
I know with me, and it comes why I want to do podcasting, people need to see someone on the internet that they can trust. That's a lot of people are just saying false facts and false statements, and because they have a platform, I should believe this person. I want to be somebody that brings the truth to the people on podcasting. I always have. That's just the type of individual I am. So maybe a lot of false narratives online.
Good. Yeah, and we do a podcast training, and I believe you was in that podcast training. So we do a podcast class as well.
Mhm.
So when we talk podcasts, and he's talking about people's truth, getting folks who and everybody had this expression. You got, of course, got to fact check, but having this podcast platform, when we make our new announcement, we're gonna make it available for people to come into a safe space to do podcasting, music production. We have a video photography studio that's coming up. So we got some things that's going to happen in this major announcement that we're excited about that won't say it yet, but coming in a few weeks, we got a big announcement that's going to happen. How about you, Kendall? Talk about, what do you see that's needed in this digital space? You've been working with clients and customers, things like that. What are one of the things you see that's needed to help close the digital divide?
Possibly some opportunities, because sometimes some people have skills, but they just don't have the opportunity to execute it. And giving them a chance to be able to do that, I think would be great.
Yeah. So we talk about exposure. Yeah, that's what we just talked about our last class. Folks have an exposure. They have the skill set, but what is the pathway for success? Who's creating opportunities for people who really might not know? We AI is fairly new for a lot of people, and a lot of people have not engaged into it. And when we talk about the Center for Digital Churches, there are churches who feel like it's straight from the devil, so they're not going to even touch it. Instead of learning how we can use this to benefit the ministry or to benefit our community, to everything that is made, there's a way for good, technology for good, and of course there's technology for bad. And we just make a decision. We've chosen to use technology for good. And so we try to implement that inside churches as well. But yeah, you're right. Economic development, workforce development, having those tools. And I believe when we move, our goal is to do that, is to spread this knowledge, engage as many people as possible. And like I said, you guys have worked in Cabarrus County, Union County, Mecklenburg County. We went to the towns of Pineville, Matthews, as well as Huntersville. So we really take this, and you guys have done this. You've taken this training to them. Right, you've taken it to them. I mean, we've been all over. We've been at 4 of the 6 corridors of opportunity. Providing our training. So, I'm real proud of you guys that has taken place. That we just don't sit there. We take the training to them. Nick, how about you?
I guess piggybacking off of what Kendall just said, most importantly is about providing options, because I think when we look back on the term equality, we think everybody having this amount and this amount and this amount and this amount, and it all being on an equal level. In my opinion, I look at it as making sure that everybody has the space to fully develop their own potential and to be able to determine their own destiny in which they've been given. So I see it as making sure that talent and skills are not going to waste, because bottom line is, when you undermine somebody, you're depriving the world of something that could become innovative and can change a lot of things.
Good. And we do have Pastor Jordan that's on here trying to get in, and it's telling me you need to connect your mic and your video. That's why it's not connecting. So on my end, it says device is not connected. So Pastor Jordan, if you could go off and come back in, and making sure your video and audio is good, I think would be good. So if you can go out and come back in, making sure that's connected, we can bring you in, because we definitely want to talk to you. So when we hear and we talk about the work, and when we think about technology, share with me an area that maybe you guys are weak in that you would love to learn. Tell me about an area that you would love to learn. In this world of technology, which is so much. Start with you, Nick. What area of technology do you think that you need to learn? You love to learn, because you guys do. You guys are video editors, you're filmmakers, you're content creators, you're computer technology refurbishers, you technology support. So talk to me about what technology or app or software or whatever. What would you like to learn?
Let's see. That's a good question. Well, of course, as a filmmaker, you always want to stay up to date on all the latest softwares and cameras and technology softwares that could also, which not only make your life easier, but you know how it is. Every time something becomes innovative, it becomes the new standard for the industry that you're in.
Mhm.
So I would say one, yeah, of course, stay up to date on the latest filmmaking software, but also you know, with AI becoming what it is now, we definitely want to. That's definitely on the verge of becoming the standard. So definitely want to stay up to date on AI.
Okay. How about you, Kendall? Any technology or something you would like to learn, something new?
I think the AI more is more coming out more. I think learning that because a lot of things that we have are already kind of AI, and
Right.
getting to learn more about that would be definitely great to utilize, possibly not only for personal, but then also maybe in the film world just a little bit.
Yeah, interesting. Brandon, how about yourself?
I'm a really big gamer, and I've never thought about this before. But if I could learn to make the game, the worlds they have now, the stuff, the compared to how I was when I was a kid, as far as video games have come, I would love to just get in, just be able to see how they make these giant, huge universes they make in a video game.
Okay. So Pastor Jordan, if you can hear me, we cannot get you in because it says your device is not connected. That you would need to connect your mic and camera before I can add you. So if you can somehow get on the device with a mic and there you go. Good. So good guys. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring Pastor Jordan in, and then I want you guys to come back to close. But I'm going to bring her in so we can talk about the work we've done with Center for Digital Churches, the work we've done at her particular church. So Pastor Jordan, I am bringing you into the stage right now, and I'm putting these guys back into our green room.
Okay.
So,
Hi. Hello, everybody.
So turn your camera on, please.
Oh, sure. Hold on. Let me. I'm just. Do you mind if I just speak to you all this way?
Yeah, we want to see you.
Okay. Hold on, because I've been working all morning and.
That's fine. You good. You good. We work. We that's what we do. We work. That's why you're here, because you work.
Amen. Well, at least let me put my earrings on. So.
Well, good. Well, and then as she's doing that, guys, one of the things that you need to know, if you're a local church anywhere, in anywhere, not local but anywhere, the Center for Digital Churches do a great program where we help support you digitally. We can come in as a media director in 3 different churches. We can come in and do an audit on your church's streaming, audio, those kind of things, especially your streaming aspect, to make sure that's working up. That's good. We also can come in and we provide technology devices for you, and actually Pastor Jordan's on the top of our list. We've been giving some out, but she's on the top of our list. Next batch of devices is going to her ministry because she has such a great vision that you're going to hear about. But she's a member of our Center for Digital Churches in Cabarrus County, right? So not Mecklenburg, where we are in Cabarrus County, and we kind of went there and did some great things there, one of our summer camps, and we're super excited about that. So if you can't, go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce your church, and where you're from.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Reverend LeVay Jordan. I'm the pastor at Zion Hill AME Zion Church. It's the oldest AME Zion Church, second oldest African American church in Cabarrus County, and we actually own the oldest cemetery as well. But we're doing great things as we celebrate our past. Livingstone College came out of our church, and so we're just trying to honor the memory of our ancestors in the work that we're doing. And so we're really seeding into our future, literally and figuratively. We have started 3 different types of gardening. We're about to get started with our hydroponic tower again. We have ongoing educational programs for our youth. For instance, the Village Saving Jared comes once a month, and they have healthy choices for boys. And so they're learning auto care this coming Saturday. They come the second Saturday of every month. And on the third Saturdays, we have a tutoring program for ages, I believe, from the 2nd grade all the way up to the 12th.
Wow.
And we have some wonderful educators that are really assisting us. so we're wanting to expand that to an after school program, and we do want to start the summer camp up again in 2025. Now we definitely want you to come back, because I mean the kids lit up every day that you guys were there. And I know that computers, coding, this type of information that you're sharing is a tremendous blessing.
Yes.
Kids are still asking about you to this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome. And, you know, one of the things that I love about the ministry is that your vision was like, wow. I mean, as you guys just heard, the program she has already happening, and it's a church without walls, right? And I have this slogan: if your church doesn't have any influence on the block, you need to lock your doors. You got to have influence on your block. You got to be doing something in the community outside of what's happening on Sundays. And for many church, Sunday or Wednesday is the only time any activity is happening. The rest of the times, the doors are locked. They're shut. There's no community involvement. So to say what you're doing is we're just super proud of that work. And then when you show me your location and all that's happening, we just look very forward to doing even more work with you. And so let's talk about that program you talked about, because your summer camp, you have multiple elements to your summer camp. You know what I mean? Not just technology, but you had entrepreneurship. You had everything. Talk more about all the things you had at that summer camp.
Well, again, you know, when I first came to the church, the Lord asked me, as I said, Lord, what do you want me to do in this capacity of this season of my life? Um, as he took me to Zion Hill, he said, reach the children. And so he said, literally, to plant a seed in the children. And so I want them to be holistic, well-rounded. So, you know, I want them to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You know, not to feel like they have to lean on anyone or anything to other than God,
Yeah.
to help them to manifest the desires in this world. Yeah. And so we're teaching them everything from learning how to do CPR to changing a tire to planting seeds and watching that plant grow to harvest to canning to freezing, and then also having recipes with the foods. You know, I just love how we're unfolding life in front of our youth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump on and bring Nick here, because you just said something that I know Nick is thinking about. I'm bringing Nick in because Nick is part of the Mel's Place here in Charlotte.
Oh,
and so
from y'all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
okay,
Nick,
yes.
So Nick, talk briefly about, when you talk about, she mentioned farming and food. Talk briefly about kind of what you guys do in that area.
Yeah, so of course, as Mr. Nichols just said, I'm also a part of the Mel's Place, which is hosted by our leader, the director Omachi Baba Reggie Singleton, who we're actually going to be celebrating 30 years of the organization this year. So what we do is that we also believe in the importance of nutrition and the importance of what you take into your body also can affect both your mind and your heart and your spirit. And we also believe that the hand that feeds you is the one that controls you. So we teach our young men agriculture by planting in a garden, which we have over there by Friendship Baptist Church over there off of Betty's Ford Road on McAllister Drive. And it's actually a community garden where we actually also provide nutrition and nourishment to the community as well. And we also have other sponsors who also partake in our collard green sale as well. And you know, if you look back on our history, of course, you know that one of the biggest reasons why our people were chosen to be enslaved was because of our farming skills. You know, from the rice growing to cocoa beans and yams, and the list goes on and on and on. So bottom line is that that history really is in our DNA. And though you may not see it and consistently in the media about us being farmers and being agriculture and nutrition providers, bottom line is the most important is knowing your own narrative. So that bottom line is, you know, the truth when other people deny you or people refuse to believe you, of course.
Good. Well, thank you, Nick. I just wanted you to come and say that because I think it added. Thank you. I think it added a lot to what, you know, when I thought about that. We have a film that we screened this year. It was called Farming While Black, and it was a documentary. and it's about this lady and her husband and what they do. And when I say she's advocating, it's for food that she's doing an amazing job. If you ever want to screen that, let me know. It's an amazing documentary. Love to do. We do a screening and conversation centered around that. I think it'd be very, very, very important as well. So you got next summer camp coming up. What do you see? You know, because like I said, you had multiple parts, and I can't remember all the parts you had before. But what are you looking at this summer camp? What elements of this summer camp would take place?
Well, I definitely want to bring back the parts that were successful.
Yeah.
And that's definitely coding. So we really want to, we're going to do it for the entire month of June.
Okay.
Well, as soon as school lets out, we're going to do it for 4 weeks.
Okay.
And we want to have 1 week of coding, 1 week of farming, 1 week of entrepreneurship.
Mm.
And I'm trying to figure out that last week, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially that entrepreneurship component, because, you know, I think as, you know, AI technology comes around, you know, I believe the jobs that we know that our parents have will no longer be around. And I believe that entrepreneurship is going to be a greater pathway. You know what I mean? I think we really got to look at that more seriously than what we have before, and as an option. You know what I mean? It's a great option, and really look at that. So it's great that you're doing that as well. What challenges, if any, you know, being who you are as this visionary, you get it, you see it. Have you had any challenges in trying to, with the larger community or larger support for what you're doing? Because it's one thing to be a church. It's another thing to be a church that's a community organization, right? And that's what you are. So talk about any challenges in achieving the goals and the vision that you have.
Well, honestly, I believe that I'm moving the church in a spiritual manner. And I believe that we're working well to establish like an administrative aspect to our programming. But what I'm in need of, or I see us lacking, is commitment to grant writing. I believe that, you know, grant writing would help facilitate our getting volunteers and being able to not only pay salaries, but to have funding that can really seed into the entire community.
Yeah.
You know, my apologies. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying, yeah, I'm just agreeing. I'm agreeing. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. We're just wanting to put it this way: the spirits are willing, but the flesh is weak. We do have older members, and the younger members work, and the youth are available and they can assist, but we need a little more structured help. And I think once we do that, then oh my God, I just feel like there will be no stopping us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people talk about the grant piece, you know, which is there. And, you know, I thank God that we've been somewhat successful with grants, and because usually grants will respond to the RFP. So whatever it is, you know, I know what we do. I know how we do it. So responding to those RSVPs has been, you know, somewhat successful for us, and which really works. And we know the lady who runs the Art Council in Cabarrus County, great. She used to be in the Art and Science Council here in Mecklenburg County. So she's doing great work already in Cabarrus County too. So might want to connect with her as well with some of the stuff that you're doing there. We really want that. Talk to me about, you know, the vision. Last thing, you know, because you have a great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was honestly, I'm glad you asked me that. One of the things that I was going with the need for grants is because of the vision. We want to engage everyone in the community. I'm working with NAMI now. It's a medical institution or association that helps people with addictions and mental health issues. To have them come and do AANA and other types of support groups at the church where they would rent out space. And I want to have you know, the entire church, I believe, is set up for the community. So to be able to get that ground level fully functioning and being able to utilize the classrooms upstairs, I believe that there's space enough for healing, whether it's through or finances, through food, you know, being able to help somebody with their business, you know, to come in and, you know, rent out space for just an hour or a moment in time to, you know, to take them to that next level.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
never. Go ahead.
yeah, your locations too. You're in a good location because I remember we came there. I mean, we would go downtown. We were downtown, and a few minutes later, we're at your church. So you're
Amen.
centrally located, which is really, really good as well. And so as you and as we know, the Great Commission, that Jesus says, last commandment, and I believe in this day and time, we carry the gospel, and sometimes our bait, we have different bait, right, to grab people. And I believe what you're creating is bait, right? You're creating this community base, being this distribution center is what you are, of resources, of help to assist the community. And I believe that's kind of one of that's the way we show our love, one to another, and especially to the second one, how much we love our neighbor. I believe is how we sacrificially give to them. Right. And I believe, that's kind of interesting in what you're doing. Well, we are excited, and I thank you for being part of this. But we're really excited with the work we're doing for the Center for Digital Churches. We're really excited that you guys are a partner, and hopefully we have some money where we can do, let's say we will, a grant that we can do the summer camp for you for free, and also after school programming in that area. And as we look at that, probably even be housed. I know you had great space there. So even housed in that area to do the work for the community and other churches, and we can do it from there. You know what I mean? That could be our Cabarrus County hub, if you like to say that. So with that being said, really appreciate you coming by. Any final words?
Yes, just one more thing. My apologies.
No.
I did want to say that having computers there, having you all there, will offer, the community so many resources that they don't have access to right now. Whether it's a child with being able to research something for a paper, or to do homework on and to print it out, or to help the elderly to, get more computer savvy. I believe that you all will be a tremendous blessing to us. And I thank God that you have us on your heart and in your minds.
Yeah, without a doubt. And our Center for Digital Churches, that's what it's all about. We're meeting tomorrow with a group that has 35 devices. They're desktops, they're towers, and we're evaluating those on Fridays. Every Friday, we're in our refurbishing center. So if you're listening to me, if you have some devices, your organization has older computers, every Friday we're in the Innovation Barn from 10 to 2 p.m. where we receive devices, where we're working on devices to give away to the community through the local church, right? So we give them to the community, but we go through the local church, those churches who's part of our Center for Digital Churches. So we can't wait to get that to you. And once we get those devices, some regular programming, because I'm sure kids need homework, people can come for resume prep. The seniors can come for telehealth information. Yes, Miss Dixon, you can come. Well, hold on, here comes somebody. They had a comment. Can I come too? Yes, Adrian Dixon. Yes, you can come too. If you live in Cabarrus County in Concord, North Carolina, I'm sure Pastor would love to have you come by, and come by on Sunday too. And so we have another comment too. Let's pull this up. This is Renee Johnson, Councilwoman District 4. Also work, Tommy. It's great to see these young, intelligent disciples moving forward and giving back to the community. Keep up the amazing work. And these were our we call them digital disciples, who were just on before Pastor Jordan came about. And Pastor Jordan and I met because her daughter's son and daughters was in our digital filmmaking program years ago. They're grown now. They were little. They were 10. I think they were 10. How old are they now?
15 and 16.
15 and 16.
Yeah, they'll be 17 and 16 in January. Yeah.
And the young man is how old?
He's 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how we initially met. And then since that time, God has moved her into ministry and things like that. And then we came there and did the work. We're actually in the AME Zion newspaper for the work that took place and the work that she's doing there as well. So we're super, super excited about that. But just want to thank you for your time being part of this. Is National Digital Inclusion Week, and it's all over the country that's happening. So we just appreciate you being. This is our second session. Our first one was 11 a.m. with Black-led nonprofits who were closing the digital divide. We just did that, and it's on our Facebook page, and so it was great. It was strong, and so super excited about you being here. What's going to happen and the work we're going to do at your ministry that you guys are going to see. So if you're a church and you definitely be connected, please let us know in the comments. You can email us as Tommy@powerupusa.org as well to get connected. But she is next on our list for distribution. So we pray that the computers we get tomorrow are sufficient and that they're decent in quality. We'll have those things out probably in 2 weeks. They'll be ready to go in 2 weeks. So you can look forward to getting those computers if they're good. And I'll let you know when we check them out
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank all of you. God
Thank
bless
you
you.
as well for being here. God bless you as well. All right, guys, just really now it's time to bring our digital disciples back online. And once again, we just a great conversation with Pastor Jordan and the work she's doing at her ministry and things like that. And so we want to show you some of the things that we're doing. I know we've been talking about it, but these guys for the last year and a half, really been putting in the work, really closing the digital divide, and they're not singular in their task, because we talk about creating film, graphics, flyers, editing, technology support, technology refurbishing, technology training, curriculum design, and this is why I'm so excited. And I need everyone to hear this. Why I'm so excited is the statistics are out, and they said the one group that's going to be left behind in the digital revolution will be African American males. African American males. So so even Stevie Wonder can see, not on our watch. You look here, not on our watch, right? So our goal is to get as many African American males, especially young males. We have a program called Two Kings. Because the Lord, He's King of Kings. Two Kings is going to be this mentoring group centered around technology, entrepreneurship, and life skills that we're going to provide for young people. And we have a new thing that's coming up. It's going to be amazing announcement that we're going to mention here in a few weeks that we're super excited about. So what I want to do real quick here, I want to get these guys off to the side, and I want to present some things for you guys to see. I'm going to share my screen. And first, what we're going to do is we're going to show you what the Center for Digital Churches look like. So if no one's ever seen the website, you can kind of see the work here at the Center for Digital Churches. And here we can see where we did this class from Mount Olivet Missionary Baptist Church in Huntersville. And we went to them, right? We went to them. Now, this particular class was in our office, but majority of the work took place there. Shepherd Center of Charlotte, we went to them and did a class. Freedom Worship Center of Pineville, North Carolina, we went there and did the training as well. So when you look at our Center for Digital Churches, the first thing you're going to see are our top digital church stories. So the churches highlight the work they've done. Here's the Zion AME Church that we just talked about in Concord, Derita Presbyterian Church. So it goes on and on and on about the work that we've done with youth, as you can see, with seniors, you can see as well. Here's another one with youth at Zion Hill AME Zion Church, AME Zion Church in Concord. Reverend Jordan just got off for the call with us for that. And then we do our digital events. Every ministry, and we able to do that. So I'm asking you guys to mute, because you guys are making noise. Please mute. But right here is really, really good, because you see in their dashboard, when they have a digital event, they can go ahead and place that event, and then it populates to our page. So here's a program we did, a digital literacy program that was funded by AT&T. Super excited about that. The majority of the other work that you see here was funded by Mecklenburg County. We got a grant from the American Rescue Plan grant, and the majority of the work was funded by Mecklenburg County. So we want to thank Mecklenburg County, the Board of County Commissioners, for selecting us for this grant. And then we have an academy. So we have an online academy where you can learn things at the Digital Center for Digital Churches. So here it is, becoming a digital navigator or disciple. If you want to volunteer and be part of our team, like these guys are doing, you want to volunteer to learn some skills, be part of that, please let us know. Internet basics, Canva for churches, Evernote essentials for church ministries, creating Gmail accounts. We do that. And then we do technology review. So we want the church to be up to date to everything's happening in the world of technology. So what do? We provide you with kind of the latest and greatest of equipment, streaming gear, the best cameras for churches, audio visual, projectors and screens, all those kind of things to enhance your worship experience. And that's what this site is all about. We have some other things that's going to come about as well that we're doing, but just wanted to show you guys this part. And what I'm going to do is now show you our Power Up USA site. And as you can see here, it goes through everything that we do. The Center for Digital, the church, we had a big graduation at Pineville. We do the Queen City Arts Festival. We do our digital senior program. And then we do esports, where we do gaming for youth, right? And so just take a look here. You can go to powerupusa.org and kind of take a look at what we're doing. Look at our digital equity mission. Look at our Center for Digital Churches, our digital seniors program, community engagement, art and culture. So understand we do digital equity work, but we also do digital storytelling, and we create a platform for artists. So the Charlotte Black Film Festival we produce the Queen City Arts Festival. We produce the Carolina Black Film Collective, a monthly meetup that's been created over 10 years for collaboration, for artists to network together. And then we got the Washington Heights neighborhoods, where we do film screenings in their neighborhoods. If you're in one of the 6 opportunity zones and you'd like to do film screenings, you want a technology class, especially on the film screening, we have a grant. We come out and bring the equipment and do community film screenings. And then our device refurbishing. So here's where we create device refurbishing device. This is the location where we are every Friday for that. And then we have our digital impact. You click on this link and see all the work that we've done. We have some blogs that's there. And then our testimonies, which are really, really strong. You can look at our testimonies here, our AI class, our Evernote class, or our podcast training that you can see. So wanted to show you guys that, just to get get example of the work that these individuals here that's on this team have been doing to close the digital divide and help with digital storytelling in addition to that. And so we are a Black-led organization, which is amazing. And we support other Black-led organizations, and so many times, we have pictures of those in underserved communities that look like us, but the lead organization is not us. And so we feel that there's a trusted place by us doing the work and being led by us, for us. Also, that we work with churches. We know that churches are very trusted organizations in neighborhoods, in communities. And so when we talk about rural areas that lack broadband activity, so when we set up a Center for Digital Churches in rural areas, and then they become the fiber hub, they become the network hub for the community in those rural areas that's really struggling with broadband and getting those resources, we're able to do that and go to those areas. So we're really, really excited about that. So what we're going to do is just give me an opportunity, just close out anything that you'd like to say. Once again, if you got any computer devices, not only do we receive older devices for refurbishing, make sure they're decent, because we give them to other people. Just like you wouldn't want to give anyone bad clothes, tore up clothes, old clothes, dusty clothes, right? And churches don't even take them. Well, same with your devices. Give us some decent. They can be older, but you just moved on, and they still can handle Windows 10, those kind of things like that decently. Then we'll take them and refurbish those and give them back out to the computer. Also, we do our digital pop-up every Friday. So if you have a device, your cell phone, tablet, or laptop, that you're not for sure how to do something, or it's acting funny, you need to be running quick diagnostics, you can come to us for free. We do this for free every Friday at our locations. Call our digital pop-up. So you bring it by, we're in the Innovation Barn, and if somebody can look at that address and put it in the comments, the Innovation Barn, you can Google it. It's not Louise, but it's on another street. We go there, I can't remember the name. But definitely love for you to bring your devices there. Free diagnostics for you, right? Come by. And as you do that, let one of our digital disciples tell you what's happening. So you're going to learn while we run the diagnostics as well. And that's where we also receive free donation. So I'm going to have these guys just go around, give last words, just talk about, what you're looking forward to. we really have this big announcement that I don't want to release until the ink dries. When the ink dries, we're going to come back live and we're going to talk about this amazing opportunity we have to really impact Charlotte in a greater way. And we're excited about it to tell you what the Lord has done, and so but I want these guys to share real quickly, talk about what you're looking forward to coming up. You can't go too much onto the new move, but tell everyone what you're looking forward to as we get ready here. We're ending fourth quarter, but yet in January we're going to go full speed ahead, and we're going to close out some things here in the next 2 months. But what are some of the things you're looking forward to? Now start. We just got a grant with Johnson C. Smith University, and so we're going to be doing some digital work through that grant with churches. We're going to do some digital work with small businesses, and we're going to do some digital work with some of the students in terms of at Johnson C. Smith, 50 students, digital storytelling. So I'm excited about those opportunities that we have with Johnson C. Smith that's coming up. We also have a grant with the city of Charlotte that we have. And through that grant, we're going to give $50,000 that we're going to use to give out a microfilm grant. So we're talking about where Black filmmakers will be able to apply for this grant and for short films, animation, or post-production on feature films or documentaries. So we're talking about being a true distribution center, but I'm looking for a matching grant. So I'm looking for someone that will say, Tommy, since your organization is giving 50, we're going to match you with 50. And so now this grant pool will be $100,000. I'm releasing that to the atmosphere now, that the winds might take it to those who have the ability to do it. And so that's what we're looking to do. That grant application will come out next month with probably everything closing out and due in January. And the announcement probably will happen the first week of February for that. So just wanted to give you some information, some tips about what's happening. And no, I work with churches. We have churches in Africa. We have churches in Nigeria, in Ghana, and Pakistan. That's part of the Center for Digital Churches. So we have those 3 countries that was part of our initial launch, right? That's part of the Center for Digital Churches. So we do work with churches everywhere, all over the place. So not just in the U.S., but all over the place. So thank you for that question. So guys, tell me, what are you looking forward to? Let's start with you, Brandon. What are you looking forward to coming up?
There's so much we have going on. I can't specify one thing I'm looking forward to.
You got to give me something. You can't get out with that. You got to give me something.
Well, what you told me, I can't touch on too much, honestly. Looking for God to bless us with more space than He already has.
Right.
I'm looking forward to teaching the youth, giving that aha moment to people younger than me when nobody wanted to give that. Nobody was in the position to give me that moment, especially in technology.
That's good. Because we got some news that we're going to be really engaging with a high school and an elementary school. So that will come in this announcement we're talking about. I already got the engagement letter. So Brandon, what you just said is going to happen, and I'm super excited about that too. I mean, really excited about that. Nick, talk about you. What are you looking forward to in the work that we got set up?
My goodness, where do I start?
Right.
I would say, piggybacking off of Brandon, definitely looking forward to working with more youths. Definitely looking forward to some of these projects we have coming up. And honestly, I just have to say that I know that we all have determination for results. So bottom line is, I'm just excited for everything that comes our way as a result of it.
Okay. How about you, Kendall?
I'm looking forward to continuing to make an impact on other people's lives and see how it blesses them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and that's guys. So you heard it firsthand. These are the guys who's putting in the work. They're the ones that's refurbishing computers. They're doing the digital pop-up, supporting customers and supporting the community. They're the one that's doing the refurbishing and will support you when you come in. They're the one doing the training for our Center for Digital Churches, Empowered USA. You know what I mean? And so you look forward to seeing those guys more and more and more out in the community, especially as things come up and we're supported in what we're doing. And I want to just do a quick thank you before I get going. I want to do a quick thank you to the digital inclusion. This is Digital Inclusion Week. That's where we are. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And NDAIA, which is a national organization that does a lot of amazing work, and they're really the catalyst of bringing all these organizations together. They do the annual Digital Equity Summit, Digital Inclusion Summit that I went to it last year in Philadelphia. So we want to thank them for sponsoring this Digital Inclusion Week that we're now a part of. And so we want to thank everyone that took part and being part of what we're doing, and continue to support us. If you feel need to even want to sponsor or volunteer, go to Pop USA. You can see that. You can contact us. If you got devices, let us know as well. We're looking forward to that. So once again, I want to thank all of my digital disciples for being part of this panel, and I want to thank you guys for taking part in it. And so till next time at 6 p.m., I have a fireside chat hosted by Miss Katrina. She's going to just do an interview with me, and we're going to go back in time. We're going to talk about my history in the digital space as the first African American in technology in 1981. Hello, somebody. I feel like I'm 29. But anyway, in 1981, and we're going to come forward back in Dayton, Ohio. Talk about the struggles, what you have to go through, being called the N-word, called boy, called everything, because I was the first. And but we thank God for persevering those challenges and being flexible to do what we're doing, that these young men are impacted by it, given opportunities, and then they're going to turn around and create opportunities for others. Our model is the Jesus discipleship model. That's our model. I'm going to give it to you, and then the goal is that you give it to somebody else and they do likewise. So with that being said, thank you guys for participating in this particular panel. Hope to see you guys at 6 p.m. on the Fireside Chat. To that time, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.